Let's go barlastic and make a classic. Cornflakes poured towards the bowl before frosted flakes for so broken until will gathered shattered glass, reforming profile divided, realign whole before foe, known as last acts that make taking fatal mistakes. My eyes lie like my life beside fire's desire, burn up, engulf our world with witnessing me succeeding, achieving deeds deemed beaming out bright in sunlight like while motions of forms, lower life forms, the forms decompose while they declare days be named. Name paper displayed birth date, age of conforming and confirming to consumers or consumed. Reflections of directions for conforming, favoring orders over solo devotion as individualism transitions to mimicking capitalism. Yo, smoke forms, doring, sour burning, celery greenery. Steam leaves leaders blind while guided by flaming haze. Paves the way where fear be dreaming. Failures lord drooling, fools ignoring isolation of playing main character. Acts attracts, chasing validation of others rather than self-deflection of reflecting. Habits given then earned, not a cap and statin plays that happen. No Pinocchio, so no nose growing. Adorn words flowing, fountain of youth found out in corruption, damning man's path, gathering stats that never ask questions, all dispersing rewards, pursuing curiosity over currency. They claim saying flames, though pyro for shows, no explosion for war, rather than darts that tag marks, not a talking optimist, hit missiles that miss, leave you all sparked, past tense of offense, body leaning on reaper, sickle slices, wide dimensions where frames lay, place decay, they care prior going upwards or downwards forever. They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of display.
If you're a guy and you've never attracted a gay man in your life, or you don't have a gay man trying to hit at you, or maybe you go somewhere and it might be a few gay people and they're making eye contact with you, chances are you're probably not as attractive as what you think you are. I cannot tell you that every single attractive guy has to some degree attracted gay men, not just one, but like all the time. That goes with social media and dating apps too. If you got gay dudes consistently hitting you up, sometimes more than straight women, then you might want to readjust your image and how you're presenting yourself to the world. But it's also a clear sign too, an affirmation that you're probably a lot more handsome than what you actually think you are. If you're an ugly or unattractive guy, you're probably never going to have any sort of gay man trying to get at you.
Yeah, yo, let's go, man. Yo, check it, man. Haze lace, frosted flakes, why I'm verbalizing with Tony the Tiger. Mind live wire, describing my strife for life. More visible than tiger stripes. Play the tape, prepare to be amazed. Birthplace, insane asylum. Mama pumped me out the womb, whooped me with my umbilical cord. Before you know, roping it, noosing me. Crows took off the umbilical cord, so I know beating me with pieces of me. For letting it be known, it's closet for recruiting out of pocket to closet recruit dudes. Playing straight, rating faces, old wannabe closet close. In closet volunteering to make up male faces. Before powdering them nuts, claiming masculinity. When seeking need touching, other men need touching in the closets. What they seeking to recruit you for? They seeking to need touch other men in the closet. They anticipating the day I'm uninformed for my funeral, so during an open casket they may face me when I can't combat them attempting to closet my.
How does it feel to be a man and being worthless?
I guess building society is worthless, but I just can't help it as a man.
I have something more important to do. My fans need a new selfie.
You. Oh, man. Oh, man. Wow. Oh, man. Give me a minute, man. You know, I normally, you know what I'm saying? I normally don't stream, man. Give me a minute. You know, I normally don't stream if I got something to do, you know. One thing you gotta understand, and I'm gonna share this with y'all is that all those years, you know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Let me make sure the audio is working. All right, yeah, the audio's working. The what I want to tell you is this, man. And what separates me is that, dude, all those years I've been streaming, I was always streaming. You know what I mean? As in, I wasn't doing nothing else but the stream, you know, as in, I wasn't working on the side or doing some other things. So I would just be focused and locked in on the stream. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't working on nothing in the background or, anything else. Give me 1 second, man. Oh, wow. So that's why. Man, all this time I've been streaming the wrong way. Give me a second. I'm trying to check something out. Wow. All this time, man. No, that's participants. Oh, wow. All this time I've been. So that's how all the other streamers, when they would stream, they'd be on the left side. And I'm like, man, all this time I've been streaming the wrong way. Oh, man. But, like I'm saying, man, whenever I streamed, I wasn't working on anything in the background. You know what I mean? So the stream would have my undying attention, man. You know, that means for 5 years straight, man, when I was streaming, dude, I was strictly focused, man. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing anything else besides the stream, you know? Give me a second. Yeah. So, when I would be streaming, bro, I'd just be streaming. There was nothing else going on. I wasn't working on anything in the background. It was strictly the stream, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but today I'll be streaming, and this is gonna be a very quick stream. It's not gonna be that long. You know, I got some other things to handle quick. You know what I'm saying? But this stream I realized is very important. Because I've been warning you guys about this for quite some time. But a lot of people always think, sometimes people think, oh, hold the truth hostage, man. He's just talking, man. He's just talking. Well, what is he saying? You know. But the truth is, man, I've been ahead, and I know it sounds somewhat repetitive, but it's the truth, man. I've been ahead of the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? I need to start selling hold the truth hostage crystal balls or something. You know what I'm saying? That tell you the truth or something like that. You know what I mean? That's how ahead of the ball I've been, man. You know. But the thing is this. The thing is this with what's going on is we're heading to a new era, man. And that era is that, and I've said this probably over a year ago, is that AI is going to eventually, AI is going to replace people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people thought, you know what I'm saying? Give me a second. A lot of people thought, you know, a lot of people when they hear AI, they think, oh, it's AI is gonna replace my job. AI is gonna replace my job and everything like that. No, it's not gonna start off there. What a lot of people don't comprehend is that AI will first replace your freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? AI will replace your freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's what's coming, bro. AI will replace your freedom of speech first. You know, you know what I mean? AI will first replace your freedom of speech, and then, you know what I'm saying? Then it will start replacing a lot more. A lot of people have been trained to just believe, oh, you know what, AI is coming for my job, but that was the distraction, man. You know what I'm saying? The distraction was to have you believe it's for it to replace you, it has to be your job, you know? It wasn't you weren't you weren't thinking from a perspective of when AI replaces your freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these corporations, what they're working on is basically replacing your ability to have your own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? For you to express your yourself. That's gonna be the first step. And what I'm gonna show you right now, I shared on the on the Discord, what this is. But what's gonna happen is that right now YouTube, and I've known this for quite some while, that YouTube is testing and has their AI running in the background. You know what I'm saying? Has their AI running in the background. You know what I'm saying? Has their AI running in the background to manage YouTube. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people aren't aware that Gemini is now embedded into YouTube to basically edit out the videos and so on. And what I'm going to show you right now is that it's going to, you know, it's going to first, it's going to first, you know, upscale the images on your videos. It's going to upscale images on videos. And then eventually the goal will be that it will change what you've said. You know what I'm saying? It will change what you've said. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the next step. The next step will be it will change what you've said online, you know. And I've said this maybe over a year ago. I said this that you know, that very soon with AI, YouTube and all of them will basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna basically utilize it. They're gonna utilize it to basically completely alter what you can and can't say. They're probably gonna put us on a delay. They're gonna put us on a delay where you talk, and when you talk, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna change what you said. That's what's coming up. When you talk, they're gonna change what you've said, and what you've said will completely change. So whatever you're saying, it won't be the same. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be the same what you said online. They're gonna completely change that to the point where when someone hears you on YouTube, bro, they're not gonna hear what you said because the AI will completely change what you've said to what YouTube approves of. You know what I mean? That's what's coming up. It's gonna be to where it's what the AI, what YouTube wants to hear. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have freedom of choice anymore. Give me 1 second. Stop sharing. What the hell? And for some reason, man, I don't know what's going on with Microsoft, man. You know what I'm saying? There's something weird going on. But Basically, dude, very soon with AI, no one will know whether what they've said, whether what they've said is you know, was heard or anything. You know what I'm saying? You won't know if what you said was heard because YouTube and all of them will completely change what you've said into what they approve of. That's what's gonna happen. Everything you said will be based on what they approve of. So when you say something from now on, it's gonna be, you know what? If YouTube doesn't approve of it, the AI will completely dub over what you said and completely change it. You know what I'm saying? So when you watch YouTube from now on, you won't really know what you're saying. And I'm gonna show you right now. Check this video out, man. Let me go on it. Check this out.
These two videos and tell me if you see the difference between them.
Given to Fly,
Yeah,
that's one of
another
your riffs.
Mhm.
That has such a unique groove to it. What are you playing on the guitar during that?
Well, I have
I
to,
don't even, honestly,
I have to tune it.
what is the tuning of it?
It's Dadgad.
Okay.
So do you see it or is it just me? Last night, Rick called me and he sent me those two videos and he said, look at this. What do you see? And immediately I noticed one of them looked like an AI deepfake of his short. You can see it in his face, in his hair, in Mike McCready's face, his facial features. It just looks uncanny and weird and fake. It just looks like AI made it, but that's not an AI deepfake. Both of those videos are Rick's videos. One was uploaded to Instagram and one was uploaded to YouTube Shorts. And the one that looks like an AI deepfake is here on YouTube. And as we were talking about this, he told me to go look at my stuff. So I pulled up my most recent example of a video that I uploaded to YouTube and to Instagram. And lo and behold, the one on YouTube looks like an AI deepfake. At first, it's a little difficult to tell, but if you start to look at things like the neck pickup on the Gretsch that I'm playing, or the way the strings go over the pickup, or the Sting logo on the shirt that I'm wearing, or the wrinkles on the shirt, or the details of my hair, it just looks wrong. And the more you look at it, the more it starts to step out. But I wanted to be sure that it wasn't just me and Rick, because admittedly, we're both nerds for this kind of stuff. So I went over and asked my wife, who is a professional photographer. She spends her days editing photos and film photos that she developed and making content of her own. And this is what she had to say. Okay, can I get your reaction to this really quick? These are screen recordings of my short. One is from Instagram and one is from YouTube. This is Instagram.
And now for the evening news.
Thanks, Brent.
When we come back, a new report suggests unsure sizing is.
That's YouTube. You're professional photographer. She spends her days editing photos and film photos that she developed and making content of her own. And this is what she had to say. Okay, can I get your reaction to this really quick? These are screen recordings of my short. One is from Instagram and one is from YouTube. This is Instagram. That's YouTube.
You look kind of like, oh, this one's fake.
So you think the YouTube one is fake?
This looks weird. Your shirt looks weird. The wrinkles in your shirt looks weird. Oh, why is the pickup like that?
That's the video. That's the actual video we posted.
Oh, it's like really, it looks like it's AI.
Okay, it's not AI. That's the short that we uploaded. This is Rick. This is his YouTube short.
Oh,
Look at
that you
his
can
face.
definitely tell.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
definitely
here's
tell.
the same one on Instagram.
That has Given to
Oh,
Fly. That's one
weird.
of your riffs.
Right? That looks fake. Like if I saw that and my brain would flag that as like, oh, Rick's uploading AI content now.
You see that? Now, the average person watching this will think, you know what, man? The AI is just up-resing the images and up-resing video. But this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And the thing about them utilizing AI without telling you to up-res your content is that they don't even care that it it alters your video's quality. You know what I'm saying? They're testing what they can get away with without your approval. First, the AI will basically up-res your video. You know what I'm saying? Up-res the resolution. Then what's gonna happen is very soon the AI will completely change what you have said. You know what I'm saying? YouTube right now is already testing, already implementing. For example, I heard the United Kingdom, you know what I'm saying? The United Kingdom has a law that you have to input your ID. You know what I'm saying? Input your ID into the websites, you know. And what YouTube is doing is YouTube is now promoting a law outside of this country. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but YouTube is now promoting a law outside of this country. You know what I'm saying? That this country doesn't even approve of, and they're putting that into practice. You know what I'm saying? They're putting that into practice now. Uh, they're putting, they're now putting. Give me one second, man. God damn it. Give me one second. I gotta copy something in the background. Man. You know what I'm saying? So YouTube is now, you know, YouTube is practicing, man. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is practicing. And one thing YouTube has done, and I've said this before, is that these platforms have become at the point where they don't value American rights. They don't value American rights anymore, man. YouTube and all these other websites, they don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about American rights. So now they're trying to enforce laws that aren't even in America. You know what I'm saying? Laws that are not even in the American Constitution, where, for example, United Kingdom, they now have laws where they are now basically having it that you have to register and provide your ID in the United Kingdom to use a website. You know what I'm saying? To use a website, man. And these laws are not in the American law, but you know, these platforms, YouTube, I think Facebook, all of them, they've been acting above the American Constitution anyway. So why wouldn't they censor you and tell you you need to provide them with ID? You need to provide them with your ID so they can identify you. Give me one second. Where's this thing? Give me one second. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Let me share this quick. Quickarooski. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 minute. Damn, man. Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Remember, you could support and help the Hold the Truth Hostage GoFundMe to help me update and protect the content on the channel. And I want to thank the brothers that have supported, because you know, YouTube didn't delete this channel because the truth is they don't want to see that people support me, you know, support my way of thinking. And I'm gonna have a stream most likely this Friday where I'm gonna explain to you that it's too late, man. We're we're in my era now. You know what I'm saying? I said that before last year, but we truly are in a new era. You know, they don't even know what's going on. But like I was saying, man, and let me check something quick. Like I was saying, is that they're testing on YouTube, upscaling your content without your approval, you know, and the AI isn't even in, the quality isn't even there to where it will basically upres your content without harming it. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, man, because freaking I don't know what's going on with Gmail, man. You know what I'm saying? With the YouTube, some reason I keep seeing an after image of my previous you know what I'm saying, my previous my previous thing, you know. You know what I'm saying? But one thing is, like I was saying, is that first they're gonna basically they're gonna they're gonna upres your content without explaining to you, without telling you YouTube is now using AI to upres your content. The next step, and like I said, I've said this probably over a year ago, that very soon a lot of people don't get, when they say AI is going to replace you, you know, a lot of people keep thinking, yo, hold the truth hostage. AI is going to take my job. That's not the first step, man. AI will replace your freedom of speech. That's the step that's coming. That's the step they can enforce. What they're going to do very soon is they're going to delay. YouTube's going to eventually add a delay to the website where you are actually, when you live stream on YouTube, and remember, a lot of these websites are all powered by Chromium, you know. So what YouTube's gonna do with their AI, and you could look this up, that Google's already I think Google's privatized, I think they've already privatized Android. They took the open source aspect out of Android. What Google's gonna do next is Google's gonna add delays. They're gonna most likely add a millisecond or a second delay. It's gonna be very light. So when you live stream, what YouTube's gonna do is YouTube will openly edit what you say. They will have the AI, which is trained on live streams anyway. They'll have the AI basically alter and edit what you're saying. So pretty soon, man, all the people you watch live streaming, you won't know what they've said if it's them. I give it probably 6 months to a year, because they're gonna need the AI to be able to dub and clone your voice. What YouTube is doing right now is YouTube is most likely training its content, because I've seen auto dubs where they automatically will change your language of your stream to another country. First, they're going to change it to another language. Then eventually, they're going to have live dubbings where they're going to change what you've said. You know, the truth will no longer exist on these platforms. You will not even be able to say the truth anymore.
Oh, my brother, testify.
You know what I'm saying? You won't be able to know what you said. You won't be allowed to say anything anymore, because what YouTube will do is YouTube will basically, give me 1 second. YouTube will basically conceal and alter what you said. So if you say, you know what, I love chocolate chip cookies, YouTube will change it to you saying, you know what, I love cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? YouTube will now edit what you've said, and they're working on that technology. They're working on a way to completely alter what you have said. You know what I'm saying? Very soon, live streams, every YouTuber you watch, and I give it about maybe 6 months to a year. It's going to be 6 months to a year for them to master and have the ability to now completely, you know what I'm saying, to master the ability of being able to change what you have said live. You know what I'm saying? They're, you know, that's what's gonna happen. They'll be able to eventually change what you have said live. You know what I mean? There won't be a YouTube where you can basically tell people when you live stream, they can watch it and say, we know exactly what you're talking about. They won't be able to, because what YouTube will do, and all these websites that are now basically saying American rights don't matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's what YouTube is basically saying. YouTube is basically saying, man, F your rights as an American, man. We don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about your rights as an American. You know, that's what YouTube is basically saying from now on. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? Why should you even have rights as an American? You know what I mean? F your rights, bro. That's what YouTube and all these websites will basically be doing from now on, man. You know what I'm saying? They're basically gonna completely edit out what you can and can't say, and completely alter it to where, bro, you don't know what anyone said anymore. No one will know whether what they've said has changed, because what YouTube's gonna do, before YouTube can edit out what you said live, they will go back to all the videos you've previously uploaded, and they're gonna change what you have said. They're gonna basically redub what you have said. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna basically redub it and change it. You know what I'm saying? Change it to something they feel comfortable with, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. You know, and a lot of people think, you know what, man? A lot of people think they'll still be able to express themselves. No, man. What they're gonna do, and you know, YouTube and all these websites are hypocrites anyway. Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, they're all hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? The hypocrisy, they'll show a horror movie. They'll show a horror movie where somebody's being harmed, and they'll show a trailer for a horror movie, but let you speak up, let you talk. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is all about, all these platforms are all about, can you afford to have your content on our platform? You know what I'm saying? That's how YouTube and all these sites work, man. Can you afford to have your content on our platform? You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Because the fact that a horror movie can show people being wounded, a political movie can talk about politics and doesn't have to hide anything, but let you, the actual person, say anything, and YouTube will basically, man, block you out, say it's hate speech and all this other BS, you know? And the thing about the hate speech aspect you have to understand is that, you know, the hate speech goes against the Constitution. It goes against the Constitution, man. You know what I'm saying? It goes against the freedom of speech Constitution. You know what I'm saying? That's what it does. And what's going on now that YouTube is basically, if they're doing it, you know what I'm saying? You know, now that YouTube, if they're doing it, are basically trying to make you put up your IDs, put your ID on their site, you know, so they can tell who you are and so on. You know what I'm saying? A law that isn't even an American law. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing about this act YouTube is committing is that, man, it shows you just how, not only how above the law these platforms believe they are, but how they behave, man. That they are above the law, they are above the Constitution, man. That's how they're acting. YouTube and all of them. That they are above the Constitution, they are above the law, and they can do whatever they want, man. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about YouTube is you gotta understand that a lot of taxpayers' money went into the technology they're using. So your own money as a taxpayer, you know what I'm saying? Your own money as a taxpayer is being used to basically, you know, control you, man. You know what I'm saying? To basically control you. You know what I'm saying? Your own money that built this technology anyway, you know? And YouTube and like I always said when I did live streams that I knew it was over. I knew that these platforms were flexing their power when Barack Obama said, I need some money, I need some help, and all of them volunteered. You know what I'm saying? All of them volunteered, bro. They just said, oh, what do you want, Barack? Oh, we got you, Barack. Well, we'll give it to you. No hesitation at all, man. You know what I'm saying? No, we disagree. Nothing, bro. They just said, we'll support you, Mr. President. No hesitation at all, man. You know what I mean? No hesitation, bro. Damn, where the hell is this? No hesitation at all. And they all lined up to help the president, man. None of them said this is against our beliefs. We might be democratic or whatever. None of them said that. They all lined up when Obama asked for money and they all gave him money. You know what I'm saying? When he wanted money, they all just lined up and gave him the money, man. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that now with what's going on with YouTube and them is that, man, they know, man. They know that, you know what, we have the right to do what we want. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep doing what we want. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about the American people and their rights. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean anything to us, man. You know, we will do whatever we want, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. That's what's going on, bro. So to me, that's what they're gonna do. And they don't care, bro. They don't care. I need a clarification. Give me 1 second. Oh man, give me 1 minute. Give me a second. Who the? Give me 1 second. Yo, hold the truth hostage, smooth soul flow. Let's go barlastic and make a classic. Cornflakes poured towards the bowl before frosted flakes for so broken until will gathered shattered glass. Reforming profile divided, realign whole before foe known as last acts that make taking fatal mistakes. My eyes lie like my life beside fires.
Buy Chad's ranch dressing, because when you can't see Chad, drink Chad's ranch dressing.
Yeah, but like I was saying, man, what's gonna happen is very soon, bro, they're gonna interlace and decide what you can and can't do. Add the features to Yeah, so that's what's going on, man. They're gonna basically they're gonna basically create a situation where you no longer have freedom of speech because, dude, they don't care, bro. It doesn't affect them, and they're gonna try to enforce. Think about it. And what's crazy is that isn't this espionage or treason that you're going to force laws from another country on American citizens? And the thing is, I read something where somebody said this is going to lead to a major lawsuit. It's not just a lawsuit that this could open if YouTube is now trying to force laws on American people from overseas. If YouTube is basically deciding to select laws that they approve of from other countries. It's not that this will open a lawsuit. This will also create a situation where people will say, you know what, man, I can act any way I want on YouTube because if they can choose the laws from countries they like, why can't I do it? Why can't I choose the laws that I like from other countries that aren't in America? You know what I'm saying? This creates a very destructive destructive aspect, man, with what YouTube's doing. If it's doing it where it's trying to force you to put in your where it's trying to force you to put in your IDs and identification, you know what I'm saying? Your IDs and identification based on based on, you know, what they want. You know what I'm saying? So what they want to happen, the laws they favor, the laws they like. You know what I'm saying? So I think, man, I think what's gonna happen is if YouTube continues this route, is what it's gonna create a very dangerous precedence where people say, you know what, man, if YouTube can choose the laws it prefers, why can't we? Why can't we do it, man? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we do it? So I think what's gonna come is, what's gonna happen is you're gonna see a situation where, man, it's gonna create a level of destruction that YouTube just doesn't know that it's gonna open, man, that it's gonna release. Because now the public's gonna say, well, you know what? If you can choose any laws you want to support from other countries, man, we could do it too. You know what I'm saying? We could do it too, man. So we're gonna basically do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the same thing, and YouTube, you can basically we'll do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We'll do the same thing as you, YouTube. We'll enact the laws we like. This is in my opinion treasonous, man. You know, and it's gonna create a massive issue, man. And I think the lawsuits are gonna. It's not just gonna be lawsuits, but I think this might be what breaks these platforms. These platforms, especially since the Obama era and even Trump's first presidency, you know what I'm saying? They've been untouchable. You know what I mean? They do whatever they want. I remember Mark Zuckerberg got in that lawsuit, right? What did Mark Zuckerberg lose? Like what, $8 billion or something? You know what I'm saying? He lost a couple billion. But it didn't stop him. It didn't do nothing to stop what he wants to do, man. You know what I mean? So I think what's coming very soon with this situation is that, man, we're gonna end up in a situation where, the only choice The only choice is, you know, the only choice that's gonna happen is that, you know, it's gonna end up shutting it down, man. It's gonna end up shutting it down, bro. And I think this might be the situation. This might be what triggers, that triggers the end for all these corporations and these companies, man. Thinking, well, we can do whatever the hell we want to do, when we want to do it. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna stop us, man? We can do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think this might be the situation where these companies will have forced the American government to take an action. You know what I'm saying? I think this might be the scenario that opens the door to breaking up all the monopolies, man. You know what I'm saying? That breaks up all the monopolies. Because at some point something has to give, man. And I think this is what it's gonna take, bro, for these companies, YouTube and all of them, to wake up. To wake up is gonna be when the American people, finally tell them, you know what I'm saying, that it's time. You've overdone it, man. You've overdone it. And I think this is when it's gonna happen. Because the thing is this, pretty soon, like I said, man, with YouTube and all of these sites, you will no longer know what you're saying. I give it, like I said, I'm giving it about a year, maybe a year, where you will no longer be able to speak live. You won't know what you're saying unless you're hearing it. You're gonna have to live stream. You're gonna have to live stream with your phone, with your phone, with your phone on. You're gonna have to live stream, bro, with your phone to hear what you're saying. And it's gonna be whatever the AI wants you to say, man. The days of freedom of speech are gone. And I think this is going to create a major lawsuit, because what's going to be on the line now is the ability to even express yourself as an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? Because very soon they're going to interlace their website. This is YouTube, the same website that promotes trailers for Nazi movies. You know what I'm saying? It does trailers for Nazi movies, trailers for horror movies, trailers for The Punisher. It does all these trailers for violent movies, but let you say something violent, let you say something they deem hate speech, all of a sudden they're gonna shadow ban you or send you a private message. Like they sent me a message a couple, maybe over 8 months ago. They sent me a message saying I'm stealing my content. I think over a year ago, they told me I'm plagiarizing. They told me all this stuff, man. I got a personal message from a YouTube engineer or YouTube themselves that I need to prove that my content is original. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing they hated is that, the Hold the Truth Hostage channel, they've hidden they damaged the reach of my content, but I had over 80,000 watch hours. People watch this channel more than they've watched bigger channels. And what YouTube did is it deleted all my watch hours. You know what I'm saying? It deleted my watch hours, whatever, because even though this channel was small, the impact was too much, And,
my next live stream, I'm gonna tell y'all something very important, man. We're in a future now where, you know how we got the manosphere, and I'm gonna end this stream. You know how we have the manosphere and so on, right? We got the manosphere, we got all these spheres, whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? But what's gonna happen? What's coming is you know what I'm saying? What's coming very soon that they're not even aware of. And the thing is, they created this, man. They created this situation that's taking place. Is that we're at the point where with what's going on, we're at the point where, and I'm gonna do a whole live stream on this because I'm gonna have to make a live stream on this, is that we're now, and I touched up on this on a video I recently uploaded as a short. We're now in the pocket culture. We're in the pocket culture now. You know how you have a pocket dimension. We're now in a pocket culture. Like, for example, people watching the Hold the Truth Hostage channel, you know what I'm saying? People watching it might not watch anything else, or watch things that are close to this channel. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening now, because they've spent over 15 years, like I said, man, I tell a lot of guys, a lot of other YouTubers, man, a lot of other guys making content, that they're just not logically on my level. You know what I'm saying? They're not logically, they can't stand toe to toe with a logistical mind such as myself. You know, a lot of these YouTubers will say, "Oh, I'll give you an example before I end the stream. Oh, Disney pushed away all the people. Hollywood pushed away all the people, right?" We've been hearing this for like 15 years. How Hollywood has pushed away the public. And I made a video over 4 years ago about how, nostalgia is gone. You know what I'm saying? And I think they said the monolith is gone. We don't all watch the same thing. You know, Hollywood forgot that we're not in the year 2000. You know, we're not in the year 2000. And here's the thing, you could look it up on my channel. I made a stream about Hollywood being on fire. Guess what? A few months later, Hollywood was on fire. It was literally on fire. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening right now is that Hollywood doesn't understand. The mass majority of YouTubers do not understand what I'm saying right now. You know, what you're hearing right now, man, this is what happens when you're dealing with a guy such as myself, full-time ghosting, you know, absolute logic and reasoning over everything. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm going to tell you, I'll be making a stream about it very soon, is that we are now in the pocket culture age. Pocket culture age. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. And I've had a live stream for over 12 hours and 50 minutes. And shout out to the homies that were there years ago, you know. And I've been streaming for years, And what happened? I used to say this, man, you're on this stream, but guess what? You're not watching a movie. You're not watching a TV film or nothing like that. You're on the stream. Now, we have the manosphere, the black manosphere, the red pill. There's a whole collective spectrum around the spears. You know what I'm saying? But what they didn't understand that was coming, as you could see, man, again, thank you to the brothers, man. Thank you to the homies for supporting me on the GoFundMe. Thank you for supporting supporting. the channel. Thank you a lot, man. This means a lot more than you can comprehend. This means a lot. You know what I'm saying? More than you think, because this is what they don't want. They don't want a guy like me to be supported publicly, because it says, you know what, this message, people want it. You know what I'm saying? But what's happening, and check this out, like I was saying, is that we're now in the pocket culture. We're in the pocket pop culture age. What I mean is that, check this out, you know, the manosphere. You got the manosphere, you got the comics sphere, you got all these spheres all over YouTube, you know. And the reason I'm saying we're now in the pocket culture age is that every people no longer have to go to the mainstream to make it anymore. You don't need a Hollywood deal. You know what I'm saying? You don't need Hollywood anymore. You don't need record labels. You don't need anything from the mainstream to be supported directly by the public. And what this has created is a pocket culture where, we expand from within. You know what I'm saying? For example, shout out to the homies. I got the homies on the Discord, is that we expand from within. We no longer pursue the mainstream. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube where people cover people making podcasts and so on. I was watching a video on the Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's in the closet. He's a closet. You know what I'm saying? And I will soon be making a closet awards, a short, whatever. But the thing is, now they think, oh man, these guys are in the manosphere and they're gonna eventually, and we used to see this in the manosphere where all these guys in the manosphere are reaching out, trying to go mainstream. You know what I'm saying? You got Andrew Closet Tate going on Pierce Morgan. You got, Closet and Fit. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like Pierce, what's his name? Jordan Closet Peterson, whatever. You know, they reached out to these major networks. They got interviews by these major networks. And what happened? The public sees them selling out. What's happening now, and I'll cover this on another live stream, is what's happening now is the you no longer need the mainstream at all. And what's happening is people now, since Hollywood, since the news stations, since the political stations, history channels, animal channels, since all of these mainstream providers have proven that they're mostly propaganda and they want to compromise your sexuality as a man, no one trusts them anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust them anymore, bro. What is there to trust? What are the chances you won't turn on CNN and they won't try to compromise your sexuality? What are the chances you won't turn on ESPN, who gave a man an award for cutting off his privates, promoting body dysmorphia as courage? You know what I'm saying? They promoted body dysmorphia as courage. You know what I'm saying? So what are the chances you won't see that? And what's happening right now, man, something's off with the live stream where it isn't. I don't see the counter. Give me 1 second. Something's off. I'm trying to see if, yeah, now it's working. But basically, bro, what's happening is we're in a pocket culture. It used to be you would cultivate a fan base or a group of people that would support you so you can prove to the mainstream you're worthy of their investment, so you can access resources. We're no longer there anymore. Now you're self-sustained. You could look up all these dudes that are live streaming and making a living, or in the public can openly support you. You know what I'm saying? We're now in the pocket culture generation. And all these mainstream companies, Warner Brothers, HBO, all these big companies, YouTube, all of them don't understand what the culture, pocket pop culture means. It means no returning, man. And I know exactly why. A few years ago, I premiered something I call Sexuality Featured. When you go watch movies, they do not provide information on the sexuality that's featured on the movies. They don't provide that, bro. So you can't trust anything new. The only thing safe from Hollywood is the past. That's it. And here's the funny thing before I end the stream is that you can now watch Rambo in 4K. You can watch all the old movies in 4K, 1080p, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you have no reason to watch new content from Hollywood. I didn't watch all the movies from the 80s. I didn't watch all the movies from the 90s. I didn't read all the books from the 90s, 80s, 70s. There's an infinite amount of content. And check this out. This is where I'm going to drop a mental detonation on you. You know what I'm saying? This will change your mind. So they recently, check this out, bro. Check this out. They recently said that all the AI models training content on stolen, content, it wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong. So they've basically now said that BitTorrent, all these sites are legal. It's legal for you to torrent anything. You know what I'm saying? That's what they basically said. With allowing AI corporations to train on torrent and stolen content. You know, they don't get what they've done, man. And other people that make content, this is why, you know, I talked to some of the homies on Discord. This is why most people who have a channel will not cover Hold the Truth Hostage. You know what I'm saying? They won't cover my channel. The fear of absolute logic, logic that digs. I'm not trying to, like I told guys for years, I'm not looking for the truth on a surface level. I'm not looking for a subsurface. I'm not looking for the soil. I'm looking beyond the core. You know what I'm saying? This is why this channel doesn't get covered. I've even paid, I've commented on channels. You got channels where they will splice other channels. They won't do it to me because the fear of a man who's so, void, who's looking at for the truth like a black hole. You know what a black hole does, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, I will be making a live stream about it soon. But we are now in the pocket culture. You know what I'm saying? It's more than the manosphere. It's more than all these spears on YouTube. We are now in a pocket culture age, man. People don't understand how individualistic, because like a pocket dimension, everyone's gonna have their own pocket of collectives. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I go to Hold the Truth Hostage. You know, I stay, I go to the people within that pocket. I'm in this pocket, I'm in that pocket. What's happening is once you find a pocket culture or a pocket pop culture, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Once you find it, that's all you watch, that's all you care about. You know what I'm saying? I said this a while ago when I was talking to some homies about, black culture, you know, black people in America and what's happening. What's happening is with the internet, you can look it up. There's a saying called Black Twitter, Black Twitter, right? What they don't understand is that's creating a pocket. What's gonna happen is certain ethnicities, certain races of people, and it's already been happening with how you look at the left, how they're losing their minds because they're in their own pocket culture. As in, they're in this pocket culture where nothing outside of that pocket culture matters. Because in this internet age, we could watch whatever we want. We can binge watch propaganda. We can binge watch lies. We can binge watch politics all day. So we can stay within our pocket and never leave it. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is what's happening, bro. And I'll be making a live stream about this very soon. But we are in the pocket culture age. Pocket, all you got to think about like a pocket dimension. Everybody is in a pocket and they're staying within that pocket. And what Hollywood and all of them don't get, and I said this in a live stream over a year ago, that people can only trust the past. You know how we got hipsters and all that? There's an evolution happening where you're going to see a generation of people. I had a name for it. I don't remember now. I think I called it past chasers. You know what I'm saying? Past chasers or whatever. But you're going to have people where all they do is chase the past. You're going to have Gen Z guys that only identify with the 80s. Only identify with the 90s. You're going to have Gen Alpha that only identify with the 2000s, only identify with the 70s, only identify with the 80s, because with the internet now, you can stay within that pocket. And the fact that the past is the only thing that you can trust, you can only trust the past because it already happened. If Marvel and all these big companies drop a new movie, you can't trust it. They'll advertise it as though it's a straight person's movie. It's a heterosexual movie. Then you go in there and guess what? The closet. You know what I'm saying? The closet is there. You know? You can't trust the present. Why you think people are waiting for reviews? It used to be, yo, we go watch a movie, bro. We see the trailer, man. We go watch it. Now you wait for reviews, or you watch the trailer and say, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have, someone has to watch it first. Someone had to sacrifice themselves first so you can find the truth. You know, and also these corporations are openly, Marvel, DC, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Pixar dropped a movie recently that bombed about an 11-year-old. They were promoting that 11-year-olds should be in the closet. You know what I'm saying? As I predicted. You know, so, you know, but, you know, man, we'll talk, man. We'll talk very soon. I got to end the live stream. This has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. Full-time ghosting isn't an option. It's the only choice. Full-time ghosting. Volunteers can't be victims. And welcome to the pocket culture. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the pocket culture, pocket pop culture. Welcome to the pocket. This is where we are now. You know what I'm saying? But you know, peace out, people.
Yo, hold the truth hostage. Yo, hold the truth hostage. Yo, hold the truth